Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday service of Now Creations. It's always a joy to remind you that the most important possession of life is the life you have within yourself. Understanding yourself as an eternal soul spirit, quite conscious, you've not left your source, that God's spirit is you, manifesting through humanity. Please never forget you are the most important life of life. Just a couple of comments before we begin today. Tonight we'll have our What is Life body from 7 to 8:30. Very much encourage you to join us if you're able to do so. And then we will be having a Thanksgiving service on Thanksgiving morning from 10 to 11, and then also on Thanksgiving evening from 7 to 8. Let's begin. My dear friends, again, your responses to last Sunday's teaching on oneness and love have been quite striking. The two responses that have occurred most frequently are, first of all, that we enter heaven two by two. We enter heaven two by two, and that all souls are participating in the sonship. All souls are members of the family of God. Both of these have been points I think each one of us has taken the time to ponder, and both of them are future pathways for now creations and for everyone else, because they are the truth. We enter heaven two by two with each other, and everyone is a participant in the unified field. How these truths will play out with all of their twists and turns certainly remain to be seen, but you can be confident and assured that to the degree that you embrace both oneness and love, your future will be safe and secure, without a doubt, regardless of an occasional seeming blip in the field of your life. We are now ready to address our fourth and final future trend. I will briefly review the first three trends and then focus on the fourth trend with its three main teachings. The title of today's teaching is simply The Future, where we literally will be going from where we are here on Earth into our futures. First, just a brief review of the first three future trends. The first one, the most important one, is the primary focus on the greater internal spiritualization within you personally, with a very, very clear presentation that you are the Christ. You are the conscious, Christed presence in our present time of history. Secondly, the second trend is the impact that our spiritual souls are having upon our physical bodies. It is quite undeniable that your spirituality has a direct impact and uplift, not only to your physical body, but also to your mental and emotional bodies, which in turn also have a greater impact upon your physical health. And then the third trend of the third trend of the future is really truly moving into oneness and love. We especially focused upon the points of stabilizing a spiritual poise within you, stabilizing a spiritual poise within you, and the importance of not only entering heaven two by two, but also living here on earth, walking together with each other, with our brothers and sisters, understanding that you will do your part in whatever manner is most appropriate for you. You clearly understand that our threefold teaching about life, it is what it is, but it becomes what you make of it, and it's always for your growth. These are the things that we understand that need to be understood more and more clearly in our lives. We are now ready to consider what I feel is the fourth future trend of your life. I will begin with two trends that now seem to be quite easily understood, although this has not always been the case, and then proceed to a third future trend that is the most important trend for you. The first future trend began on Christmas Day, 2021. Do you remember the event? Christmas Day, 2021. It was on Christmas Day in 2021 that James Webb Space Telescope was launched, joining the Hubble Space Telescope launched in 1990. These two launchings have enabled us to realize that we as humans are participants in a cosmic citizenship. Just want to say that again. These two launchings, 1990, 2021, have helped us to realize that we as humans are part of a cosmic citizenship. We all marveled at the pictures of the universe that these telescopes have provided us with. But the most impressive aspect of these pictures is the impact that it has had within us. There's just that something within our hearts. There's just that something within our souls that seems to open when we view these pictures of outer space. Or just when we look up at the stars at night, there is just something bigger, far into the cosmos, than simply here on Earth. Oh yes, we go about our everyday stuff, our everyday Earth stuff, but truly focusing on what is bigger than the Earth enables us to have a broader vision of the scope of life. And this is what we're developing, a broader vision of the scope of life. It is quite clear that we as humans have become explorers in space. Yes, indeed, we as humans have become explorers in space. Regardless of how primitive our explorations presently are, they are our explorations. And whether they simply give us more pictures by telescope, or actually, as we hope, to send more humans to open up a space station on the moon, as the Artemis project is developing, with eventually hoping landing humans on Mars in 2040, the fact of the matter is that humanity is moving beyond simply being earthbound. Quite an achievement for humanity, with obviously much more to come. And may I say, in regards to this exploration of humanity, how proud I am of the achievements of our Cosmic Citizens Committee of Now Creations, which has brought so much information in readable, digestible form for the members of Now Creations. I heartily encourage you to read the reports of the members of Now Creations by simply going to our website, clicking on Cosmic Citizen Committee Reports. I think you'll find them to be quite helpful for you. The second future trend. The second future trend, while open to so much misinformation and debunking, has been best presented in a book entitled Imminent by Luis Elizondo. I think that many of you probably know where I'm going with this information. In his book, Immanent, Elizondo proceeds to present very compelling evidence of not only UAPs. A UAP is the new name for what previously was called an unidentified flying object, UFOs. The UAP covers UFOs a bit more. The name itself, UAP, means unidentified anomalous phenomena. Unidentified anomalous phenomena, covering not only unidentified flying objects, but also all anomalous phenomena, such as how did those pyramids get built? As well as what about these orbs that seem to be showing up in our lives? Let's go back to Elizondo's book for a moment. It presents not only information about UAPs, but also the massive government cover-ups of possible alien remains and reverse engineering of alien spacecrafts. Pretty interesting. Alien remains and alien spacecraft. The book is a fascinating read and has such compelling evidence that support the article in the New York Times of 1921 when UFOs were viewed by Navy pilots in actual flying encounters, that the United States Senate has brought legislation to pass that is now encouraging people to bring forth information about encounters with extraterrestrials as well as extraterrestrial crafts, with more legislation on the way. In fact, this past week in the House of Representatives, there was a hearing on UAPs. A wonderful presentation of the summary of this material is again presented in one of our Cosmic Citizen Committee reports, 10 Reasons to Consider the Possibility of Beyond Human Intelligence. I encourage you to take the time to read this if you have not done so. Obviously, this area of discussion makes us ask the question, are we alone in the universe? Is there another set of beings who shape our universe, and perhaps many sets of beings who are involved in our universe? Of course, you make up your mind in this matter, but the fact of the matter is that technical research is being done in this area by government research teams and other academic and research teams by non-government scientists who are highly credentialed. This is pretty important. These non-government organizations, such as the Soul Foundation, SOL, have been encouraged by former government officials like Luis Elizondo and David Grush, who have helped us to understand this vital information, not just about national security, but vital information about life itself. As a side note, just a side note, those of you who like to do crossword puzzles, whenever you get the clue UFO cruise, you know the answer is ETs. A lot more is going on in this area, with much more to come. Are we alone in the universe? indeed the future foretelling. But it is the third future trend that I am most interested in presenting to you because it's about you. This future trend is unequivocally about you. It's about your future. Let me be clear. I do not mean just your future here on earth, but also to include your future beyond the earth. I want to be very clear, not just your future here on the earth plane, but your future beyond the earth. Let's proceed step by step. And I ask that you be very open, receptive, perhaps take some notes. The first step. In my first book, The 10 Most Important Things to Know in Life, the first of those 10 things to know, the first of those 10 things to know is to understand that the earth is not a retirement center. In the clearest of terms, you will someday leave the earth, either by chance or hopefully more by choice. Earth life is an interim experience. Now, I know you know that. Did you have to know that? Earth life is an interim experience. It is for the time being. As an eternal soul spirit, there has been a pre-earth life, and of course, there will be a post-earth life. We existed before we got here, and we will exist after we leave here, because we are conscious, eternal soul spirits. The earth is not a retirement center. The second step. It is important to understand that when you drop your body, you will not be losing any substantial part of you. You will continue to be a conscious, eternal soul spirit, and you will carry with you your mental and emotional bodies into your future life, which is called your astral life, or life on the astral plane. The astral plane is simply your next stop. It's your next stop in being that conscious, eternal soul spirit. The astral plane is composed of many belief systems and will have the features of your life review, as well as your choices for what you're going to be doing afterwards. Those of you who have recently studied the wonderful book by Robert Monroe entitled The Ultimate Journey have been given this wonderful future view of astral plane choices. Monroe's book simply puts more substance to what philosophies and religions have done. They've given us a better indication about the possibilities of the afterlife. Now listen closely. So let's stick with Robert Monroe's analysis as our third step, and what he calls the 4 ifs. The 4 ifs. Please listen closely and focus on seeing yourself in these 4 ifs. The first one. What if? What if you knew for certain that you were more than your physical body? What if you knew for certain you are much more than your physical body, that you really are an eternal soul spirit, and you will live forever? That you really are an extension of God, and you will continue to create as God's experiencer. Would such an understanding of life give you so much more freedom of choice without worrying about who or what might be tracking your actions? The second one, and it's a big one, a very big one. What if, because you are an eternal soul, what if you knew that you, as an eternal soul, are creating the reality of your life? And now listen closely. And that you have the option to depart your present life when you are certain that you have completed your soul's guidance. I'm going to say that again. What if you knew for certain that you are an eternal soul spirit and that you have the option to depart? You have the option to depart your present earth life when you are certain that you have completed your soul's guidance. Quite a choice to ponder. The third, what if? What if you had the assurance that regardless of what happens, that we would continue our loving bonding beyond the earth life system and even beyond time-space, so that all of the good that we are doing here on the planet, all of the good that we are doing here on the planet would continue in an enriched form when we depart? Oh my, oh my. The fourth, what if? The third, what if, leads logically to the fourth one. What if we were certain that when a loved one departs, that we would meet up with them in the afterlife, that you will meet up with your loved ones, and that such a meeting would not just be a nice reunion, there would be a launching pad into another future adventure. Not only to meet up with, but perhaps even to continue into another beyond Earth life adventure. I believe these four what ifs to be true. Yet I also believe that they challenge many of our old concepts of what our future holds. I encourage you to revisit these four what ifs during the week and in your future as well. In particular, I encourage you to read pages 217, pages 217 and 251, pages 217 and 251 in Robert Monroe's book, The Ultimate Journey. I think that they will be eye-opening and heart-opening. I'm not done. Now I'm ready for the most important point. What I would like to do now is to set up for you 3 very logical steps, truly about your future. I think that you will find these steps not only appealing to your mind, not just appealing to your thoughts, but also very appealing to your heart, your feelings. Always remembering, for something to be true, it needs not only to make logical sense, but it must feel right. And of course, works all the time. So these are the 3 steps I will now set before you as a direction of your future with an empowerment to fulfill it. The first step. Let me begin by asking you a question. What energy would you like to be in when you leave your body and proceed into the future? What energy would you like to be in when you leave here on Earth and proceed into your next life? It's a good question. What energy do you want to have when you leave the Earth? I've thought about this question many times, and I certainly do not want to put my view into your mind. You clearly know what you will want to do, the energy you want to be in when you leave. But I will share with you my energy so that we then have a basis for steps 2 and 3. So the energy that I want to be in when I pass is loving expectation. Loving expectation. I want to be in a very loving energy and to be fully expectant to all the good that is to come. I want to be very loving when I leave and ready to experience the good that is to come. Now, again, you'll have your own energy with which to transition, but mine is simply loving expectation. Step 2. I have thought about this on many occasions. If I want to be in the energy of loving expectation when I pass, why would I not want to be in this energy right now? It's a good question, please. If this is the energy you want to be in when you pass, well, why wouldn't you be in this energy right now? In fact, doesn't it make sense? Doesn't it make sense that the best way to be in the energy you desire to have when you pass is to be in that energy right now? So I simply said to myself, well, why not? Why not be in this energy right now? It makes perfect sense to live this way right now, to live in loving expectation, to be daily in this energy, and to be expectant of all of the good that will come to me and all of the good that will come from me during the rest of my earth life and beyond. This makes sense, the best sense. Okay, step 3. Are you ready for this? You have to be ready for this. It dawned on me that loving expectation is not just the energy I want to be in when I pass. It is not just the energy I want to live in right now. That loving expectation is the energy of my being as a loving extension of the God energy itself. I'm going to repeat that. Loving expectations is not just the energy I want to be in when I pass. It's not just the energy I want to be in now. But loving expectation is really the energy of my being as a loving extension of the God energy itself. In other words, I understand that who I am as an extension of the God energy does not depend where I am in a dimension of existence, whether that dimensional existence is here on earth or beyond the earth. I am who I am wherever I am. I am who I am wherever I am. This is the future we are embracing, where we are conscious, loving extensions of the God energy. Our dimensional existence is no longer in charge of who we are, but rather we are in charge of bringing our loving energy to the dimensional existences of our lives, wherever we might be at the moment. I encourage you to ponder well this last aspect of your future. And as you do so, to step up to the expanding spiritual future that is awaiting you. In conclusion, I have now shared with you the 4 future trends of our lives. Again, a brief review. First, an increasing spiritualization. Secondly, the impact of that spiritualization on our physical bodies. Thirdly, proceeding in oneness and love. And lastly, embracing your future from the God energy that is within you. Truly, we are on an expanding spiritual path, an ambitious one, an ambitious path of great joy, which is befitting to us as children of the Most High. Increasingly, this path is becoming easier and more thrilling as we do our daily spiritual practices and join with others who do the same. Indeed, we are walking our individual paths together, thus making it much easier for us to walk our talk. We're ready for our futures. Let me now bring you into meditation, and what a joy it is to do so. There is simply a truth. There is simply a truth that at night when you look up into the stars, it's not a foreign place. It's not a foreign energy. When you look up into the stars, there's something within you. There's something within you that is connected. You know, you know in your heart of hearts that you are bigger than the earth. Happy to be here, but a part of something much bigger. Humanity has become explorers in space. Just a fact. None of us seem to be too upset. None of us, get too frustrated or get concerned when we say that there are other beings, especially when we say, oh, well, there's angels and archangels and there's saints and ascended masters. That's all very comfortable. And we realize that, no, we're not alone in the universe. Oh, yes, we feel that there are other beings with whom we're comfortable. To think, however, that there are other beings from other star systems, or however they make themselves known, is simply something that needs to be addressed. Are we alone in the universe? And what if there was so much more to come? So much more to come than simply life here on earth. What if? Bob Monroe's what ifs were all very true. What if we, like many others, have been sleepwalking? I encourage you to read our Cosmic Citizens Report, 10 Reasons to Consider the Possibility of Beyond Human Life. Perhaps read a book by Louise Alexander entitled Immanent. Perhaps visit the Soul Foundation, SOL, their website. But most of all, and it's really a big question, what is the energy you would like to be in when you transition? What is the energy that you would like to be in when you see much of life that is going on right now is oftentimes nonsensical and really has very little to do with you? So what is the energy you would like to be in when you transition? It's a good question for us. But that second question is even better. Why not be in the energy right now? Why not just be right now the way we would like to be when we pass? That's a pretty important question to ask yourself. Why keep on fooling around with the nonsensicals? Letting the world determine who you are rather than you being who you are. And then perhaps those first two questions, what is the energy I would like to be in when I pass? What is the energy I would like to be in here on earth? Would then lead you to understand What is the energy that you are, wherever you are? What is the energy you are, wherever you are? May I suggest that at least a part of your answer will be that you are a conscious, creative extension of the God energy. Okay, I grant you today's teaching was a tad heavier than some of the previous ones, but just as relevant, perhaps more so. That you are who you are, wherever you are, which means right now, a conscious extension of the God energy. Oh, and I suggest happy and joyful that you are. And with that, let me invite you to gently breathe your eyes open. Nice, easy breathing. Happy, happy, joyful. Your future will be who you are. I am an eternal being of light and love. Thus, only good can come to me, and only good can come from me. And we are eternal beings of light and love. Thus, only good can come to us, and only good can come from us. Namaste.